Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm just as pleased as Punch to be perched here at the cusp of taking on Kalaka. With me is, of course, as always, I believe this is MZ Bundafun.
Yeah,
Sure. That's our special guest commentator for this week.
Good.
And tonight's theme is amnesia.
Right.
And flying out of skeleton mouths. But yes.
Tonight I think we're just going. It's bonus content night. There's
That's right.
going to be a lot of stuff to do. I think.
What on earth are you wearing? What is that? Dang it.
Well, we're not going to be. This is a minor thing. We're not going to be wearing a special suit for most of the night.
Thank you.
Because we are going to the cavern, and that means we've got to wear special stuff.
Oh boy, yes.
We're going to I'm going to buy my first actual stat altering suit.
Yeah, right. Instead of these, I kind of like, I don't know, just how his arms and legs motor back and forth as he runs around. It's a good suit, but yeah, as you have maybe seen in my solo videos, not so much here, a few of the built-in suits do give you some stat boosts and also some negatives, and I believe that we are going for the gold with this one. The yes, it's a U.
Right.
Please.
This is the one we're gonna buy the skeleton suit.
Yes, and yeah, all right. There is that super one.
Yeah, the super suit is kind of funny, but it's not very well. They tried to do some custom animations, and they don't really look right. They're not appropriately done.
I see.
So
it looks like they're trying to have him fly for most of the time, stuff like that. Anyway, yes, the skeleton suit is actually the pro way to do a lot of the game. It's good for speed runs, and also it's there's an achievement for finishing the Caverna de Pollos with it. You get, as you're seeing, obviously, you get unlimited special moves, with the explanation that you have no muscles to get tired. But seeing as there's no blood in your dusty veins, you will not get healed at all. So
basically, we're going to die a lot. And
this is going to be interesting.
The real test is whether Bacter is going to be lazy enough or dedicated enough to actually do some editing.
I don't know. I've got a document all queued up that we can read if things get a little long.
Yeah. Also, it's worth mentioning that as usual, I have not played the game in a long time, so we're going to
ever played this third Caverna de Pollos.
Right.
So, I guess that goes without saying. But yes, this is a blind run of the hardest of the endurance challenges with the
wearing the challenge suit.
That is not meant for endurance challenges. So
I don't know.
I don't actually know if you get the achievement for beating this on normal. Maybe you have to beat it on hard.
It doesn't matter because we're in offline mode anyway to save my precious bandwidth.
Whatever. Yeah, I see. Yeah. This is, I think, actually, in fact, I'm pretty sure before this is out, you will in fact meet the final kind of skeleton in this third Caverna de Pollos. So, yeah, you'll know it when you see it, I promise you that. This one, it took me a good number of times, as I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do the challenge, you mean?
Now remember with these guys, as you see, anything except their shield is a vicious counterattack.
Right,
so.
Right.
I think the first time I did it, I cheesed it a little bit. I used the chicken suit, which is a coward's way out.
Right, well, I'm probably going to die pretty hard, but we're not.
You're doing alright so far.
I'm sure Bacter is actually on a bit of a lag, so anytime Bacter says a compliment or an insult, odds are about 50-50 that he's wrong.
Yeah, you do seem to be getting hit by these chupacabras a bit, so. Well, what's one to do? The trick with the chupacabras, I say, not that it matters much now, but the trick with them I found is to clear the air just as soon as you possibly can. And I actually try to make the pound attack ones a priority, just because they're harder. Because they're up in the air, you can almost always squeeze off a good uppercut on them. But not so much the other way around.
Right.
I will say, once you adjust your fingers to the configuration of the keyboard, this stuff does come back pretty quickly.
I would hope so. There's no telling.
I mean that it's yeah, I suppose so. I think I've said, like, I really do like the skill progression in the game, that you feel much more skilled, you know, by the time you've mastered it, obviously, than you did at the beginning, but it's not so complicated either.
Right.
Obviously, the deal with any big skeleton challenge is just, you know, if you mess up at all, you're kind of toast.
Right.
So.
Well, I actually managed them all right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Things are not going all right.
What they do really well is fill you up with distractions, you know. So
right.
That, you've got to focus on getting the plant man out of the ground.
No. Who could have predicted that would happen?
No one could have. Well, you know the punishment.
That's right.
You actually don't know the punishment of what I'm about to tell you. Every death, I'm going to read a paragraph from Finding the Present in the Past, Ancient Mexican Medicine by Carlos G. Musso of the Nephrology Department of the Hotel Italiano de Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Well, I'll see you later, ladies and gentlemen, because I think we're having some internet trouble. We might not lose connection here.
Which is a shame. Because of that, you will not hear that not only weapons and bodies crashed against each other when Spaniards landed in Mexico, but also two different cultures. Iron swords, fire weapons. Fire weapons? Fire weapons.
Yeah, you know, fire enchantments. It's pretty basic.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Any level 1 wizard could do it.
with their flaming flying galleons. Military strategy, war horses and dogs led the natives to surrender. Finally, a smallpox epidemic completed the conquest of smallpox, which was brought in by Spanish soldiers, killed at least 1/2 of the native population. This infectious disease, a non-fatal viral infection of childhood for Europeans, was a fatal illness for the American natives since their immune system was not prepared to fight this new disease. So there's paragraph 1. Maybe we'll learn more about the 4 cornerstones of Aztec medicine.
We can only hope.
Alright, I'm just going to skip ahead and say this little part where he's praising Aztec medicine. And he says, Aztecs had a great knowledge of anatomy. I guess they would.
That's not a compliment in this context.
It's not like they didn't spend a lot of time with the particulars of it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway.
Can't tell if I'm doing better or worse. Don't really remember exactly how I was doing this last time.
Yeah. Maybe about the same. Maybe a little worse, but I don't want to jinx it.
At least I haven't had any trouble with these big guys yet.
Yeah. Honestly, not to be too disheartening, but this is intended to be a rest and recuperation level.
Right.
Because the big guys give a ton of health, you know, and so there's not a whole lot to pay attention to, and once you clear them out. I will say, you seem to be using the skeleton suit in the way it's intended, which is just non-stop super moves.
Right.
Although, they, you know, it is good to fire off a couple combos. If nothing else, they keep people busy, and obviously throws are the cat's meow, too.
Right. I'm just trying so hard to avoid getting hit ever.
Yeah, it really is a case of that. So, if you're ever back in the cactus and skeleton room again for some reason, One trick that is nice is that throwing skeletons will also take care of the cacti.
Right, I did that last time. I just did it poorly this time.
I see.
I think is this the one I lost on last time? I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and you're not getting smacked as much. Nice. I mean, I think you were in the red by now.
I might have been.
Or at least in the blinkies.
Oh, yellow skeletons.
Yeah, good times. Remember, extreme prejudice is the you're dealing with yellow.
They have shields.
Yeah, and a big guy. So this is an extremely brutal cavern experience.
That's right.
Honestly.
All right, let's hear more about Guns, Germs, and Steel. The New World.
I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Here's some more advantages of the Aztec.
Wow.
Let's see. After extensive research into ancient Mexican medical practices, I've come to understand the ways they practice medicine and its effectiveness. The Aztec understanding of disease was based on magic. It's a weird two sentences.
Oh, golly.
I see. But its practice was based on empiric treatments. They demonstrated usefulness over the centuries. They saw illness as a punishment from the gods. Keeps throwing in these little they believed that each god or group of gods ruled a specific anatomical area which they could heal or make ill. The connection they made between a divinity and a particular disease or group of diseases was based on avocatory ideas. For instance, the god of rain ruled the lungs and the respiratory system because they noticed that during the wet season, respiratory diseases were more frequent. So there you have it. They apparently had 4,000 words to name the different anatomic structures, which is more than we have in modern medicine, I'd say.
I don't believe that. As a student of biochemistry, that's patently not true.
Sure, that's false, yeah. Alright, I'm done with that. This is just sort of fawning on Mexican, or on Aztec because I'm not Mexican. Ugh, I love articles that start off with stuff like this. Medicine has been around almost as long as illness. It's natural for us to want to find a way to feel better. Well,
you know, I don't think that's true. I mean, I would think illness predates not medicine, but all of humanity considerably.
Yes. That's like the old chicken or the egg argument. You know, whatever, dinosaurs were laying eggs considerably before.
Right.
Your standard chicken was right, yeah.
Well, that's gonna hit? Gonna punch?
Yeah. They're punchers. But can they take the punch? Maybe they can't stand the heat and should get out of the kitchen.
Yeah, I was more concerned that they were losing all interest in punching.
Oh.
Remember, parents, if your giant skeleton loses all interest in punching, you may need to consult a doctor.
That's right. Just make sure it's not an Aztec doctor.
I don't know. In this case, it might be appropriate.
I guess, that's true. That would be more of an invoker, or a necromancer or something like that.
Get over here.
Yep. This is the depths. Yeah. You're definitely doing better this time, I think.
I don't know. I'm under half.
Yeah. And I'm very sure that last kind of skeleton is still around, and it'll be a heck of a one. Either you'll take it out very quickly, or it'll, I don't know. It's the kind of thing that you can't leave alone for any amount of time.
The yellow ones.
Thanks. Well, those two, but specifically the new skeleton that I think you'll meet later.
Oh, that is in this area, and I haven't
I believe
seen
it to be, yeah. No, It's a fun one. They sure do like to rampage those big skeletons.
Well, I can hardly blame them. I like it myself.
I mean, I guess they had a good number of medicinal herbs back in the, Central and South American climate regions. We have just that huge variety of plant and animal life down there.
I suppose. Doesn't do you much good if you don't know how to make use of it, though.
No, that's true. I'm sure they had at least a few things that, people have always taken this for a sore throat or whatever. And I think typically those end up at least being, there's some compound in them, which is a little useful.
Maybe. The goal is to find the one where the useful compounds slightly outnumber the terribly toxic ones.
Man, there was some herbal supplement that a friend of mine had, actually, that I happened to have seen a news article on, because it contained like 100 times the recommended dose of arsenic. Not that there's the safe dose of arsenic or whatever, but...
There is a safe dose. Sure. I wouldn't say there's a medicinal dose, but there would be a safe dose.
1.5 not muches,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, things are going grim.
Well, yeah, they really start piling it on towards the bottom here. If you're interested in seeing precisely how far, assuming this run doesn't work out, maybe it will. You could always check the map and see, compared to the other, all the areas are about the same size. So. This is a nail biter for sure. Honestly, I feel like a couple times now, they've been lunging at you and you've been saved just by virtue of being in a throw situation.
Yep.
That dodging. I think the first time I beat this, I had like 1 point of health for the last 3 levels or something like that.
Right.
Well. Anyway.
I don't know how to dodge these stupid rolling guys.
You cannot. Well, you can stand under them, something like that. But
yeah, they just bounce so fast and cover basically the entire terrain.
I think if you manage to get a little amount of distance from them, then a Olmec's headbutt will send them flying, even if they've got a different colored shield.
Right.
It'll at least break them out of their roll. This might be an interesting time to talk about the Badianus manuscript, Aztec herbal tome from 1552, discovered in the Vatican Library last century. Just sort of interesting. It was apparently a treatise in Latin, spoken in Aztec, and translated from Aztec to Latin by another Aztec person, which they secreted away. So it's got all these descriptions of the various herbs they use. So it's kind of interesting. There's little passages here, and again, this is by an Aztec, so it's hard to know exactly what his motivations were, but the passage, the Spanish were astounding colonizers. Soon after the conquest, they built hospitals and schools. They taught natives the humanities, succeeding so well that less than 20 years after Cortez had conquered the country, there were Indian boys who, quote, spoke Latin as elegantly as Cicero. So either Cicero is not very good, or...
That's cruel.
Well, I'm sure the boys were great. This is evidence not only of the colonizing abilities of the Spaniards, but the adaptability and intelligence of the Aztecs. The Spaniards imposed their religion upon the Aztecs, but allowed them to practice their own medicine, and even allowed Aztec medicine to be taught in the colleges.
Well, it's it's not a good run so far.
Well, yeah. It's easy to get caught by just... It's the real problem with this stupid skeleton suit is all it takes is getting caught by 1 or 2 stray punches, you know, and you're toast. I mean, you have to have just an almost... at least when I beat it, you had to have an almost flawless run through the first half of the thing.
Right.
And then, you know, sort of get lucky on the last part. And boy, you'll play conservative those last few times.
Well, it was pretty close last time. That's good.
I think I'd heard about this in other places too, like, I don't know, European medicine back from the Middle Ages, but apparently they used a lot of gemstones in that medicine, which is interesting. Emerald was used in a plaster for a fractured head, and a potion to cure the heat of the heart, a lotion for gout, a potion for fever, and a potion for the eyes. Crystals were used in the application for fractures and various potions. A purple crystal was used in a potion for sore eyes, and a purple amethyst, by the Aztecs' names of Tlaptlahuatl, was noted that it was used to strengthen the kidney.
I don't know how to handle that right there. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you at all, and I recommend you do the same first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that stupid jump. I really can't stand it. That's what you were talking about, I assume that's what's showing up.
Yeah, when because they bounce around, basically cover the entire screen.
Right.
And they stagger against each other, so I don't... I guess I should clutch to the top of the wall.
That is certainly an option. Yeah, and, you know, remember you can run up the walls now, so...
Yeah.
If you run up the wall and then stick, you know, use your W button to stick when you're all the way up there, then you can probably avoid that. That's a decent option. But honestly, they don't even give you much wind up.
Right.
I'm sort of left. The plant guys aren't so bad, at least because they've only got that one attack and it's got a pretty good wind up when they make that little red bubble, you know, before they poke up. Again, you would, you know, be getting constantly replenished if you weren't Bony Man.
I also would have to be hiding out and not being able to punch people non-stop.
I know, and that just grinds your gears.
Just gumping my gasket. Real words.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're talking about gaskets and gumbling them.
Oh, wow. It seems it's quite I don't want to say random because it's not, I guess, random per se, but sometimes you get to a point where they are staggered just right.
Oh, the chupacabras, you mean?
Or any enemy, but
yeah, the chupacabras are just about the worst offender for my money. If only because it's like, I don't know, as soon as one finishes firing his little salvo at 3, the next one chimes in, you know. The only real advice I have for chupacabras is, even if you're not hurrying them, just to ground them, you know.
Oh, that's what I was trying to do. They were all over the map.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hate them. You selected a tough challenge. This is probably the hardest badge to earn, so...
I have to amuse myself somehow.
Yes. I also have to amuse myself somehow by looking up traditional medicine among the Nahua. I like to think that people like to hear me, a complete and total, just a rank amateur, prattle on about whatever nonsense.
I don't know why you would think that, but darned if I can't convince you otherwise.
You know, in a way, it's just leveling the playing field. You've not played this map before, and it's been a while since you've played, so they're watching you blindly play through it, and they're watching me blindly struggle my way through Aztec medicine. It's like, let's play the final in our anthropology class that we absolutely did not study for, and now it's exam day and I have to present on Aztec medicine.
Right. Almost had him, and then I had to back off because of the big guy.
Yeah.
Then I died.
And it's hard because you really want to be pressing those yellow guys as much as you possibly can. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure this was, like, carefully considered on their part, but their jump attack is just so perfect. Smack you from almost anywhere.
The skeleton? The yellow skeletons, you mean?
The yellow skeletons, yeah. Their jump attack is vicious. Excuse my Coke break.
When a guy's shield breaks, does his shield always come back the same color?
No. Although, sometimes, yes.
Excuse me.
The thing to understand is either yes or no. I'm just saying there are times when it switches. I'm pretty sure in situations like this with the chupacabras, these guys are always going to be 2 reds and 2 greens.
Right.
I think they always come. Yeah.
Didn't always seem that case, though. I mean, always on this particular room, yes, but
yeah,
not every enemy. But I couldn't remember if I was just remembering it, or I didn't know if I was.
No, sometimes they switch. So, just to add in some little extra fun. Yeah, you did a really good job this time with grounding them.
Well, relatively speaking, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only saving grace for the chupacabras is that they take a little while after they've been grounded to get back up to altitude and launch their salvo.
Right. I'm going to apologize in advance if my keyboard is ultra loud this time.
Yeah. I got him the Quackmaster 4000 model.
That's right. For my birthday. No, I'm just suddenly realizing that in the stress of the moment, I'm pressing it a bit harder than I usually do.
I see. I also got him some bionic finger upgrades for his birthday, so he's just shattering keyboard after keyboard.
Nothing of the caffeine pills.
Yeah.
You're nothing if not generous.
It's the gift you get someone you don't actually want them to have a better life.
Yeah, like this guy was red before I pounded him, and now his shield is green.
Yeah, so sometimes they do switch. I think it just depends, like, my guess is the default is they switch, and then they can preset some rooms if they want a particular challenge.
Right. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Uppercuts.
Yeah. Times for the uppercut fairy. Honestly, sometimes I wonder if the unlimited special moves isn't a bit of a hindrance, because you spend most of the game sort of developing this cadence of attack for short amounts of time and then, retreat and whatever, rest up to get your stamina back. But when you have these unlimited special moves, the goal and the temptation as well is to just always be constantly pressing. I think it maybe just messes with the cadence enough that it's like you're fighting these unfamiliar battles.
Yeah, but every battle's unfamiliar to me, so it doesn't barely matter.
True. I'm also sorry if there's any background sounds in the case here, seeing as I live in the tropical rainforest.
That's right.
It's constantly raining. And I think I just realized that I left my grill out Oh well, it's under sort of a canopy balcony thing.
That and you only grill rainwater anyway.
That's right. Grilled rainwater is really the only way to... It locks in the flavor.
Right.
I put the mahogany chips and cement in there and just boil up some water and... Man, I was reading a recipe for pasta the other day, and the first direction was to bring a pot of water to a boil and to add salt to taste. And so I guess they wanted me to boil boiling water until it tasted good.
Well,
I was there all night. I was left with a soggy pile of salt and broken greens.
I'd love to take the credit for this particular cookbook, but...
Cooking with salt and water by Ms. Bundefund. Oh, excuse me, MZ Bundefund.
That's right. Please.
My special guest commentator tonight.
The MZ is a title like PhD or doctor, because those are different,
Right.
you know.
Bundefund, MZ.
Ha ha! I am the best at skeleton punching as a skeleton.
There you go. Woo! That, I guess you didn't see the new special skeleton, but very good. So we are through the Caverna de Pollos. We have punched every skeleton, and Ms. Bundefund has earned the hardest achievement.
Something
So,
like that. I don't
it's,
think I can
reward
get
time.
up here. Seems
I
beyond
think-
my capacity.
Oh, no, I bet you have to go back and continue on.
That looks like the portal to hell.
Well,
I assume that
it looks...
that's what that is.
It is not, in fact, the portal to hell. But you should go back up and act as though you were going to go to a third cavern.
I see.
and see what-
I see.
Maybe we will find something sort of unusual.
I like these big
Oh,
heads,
ooh,
by the way. The Olmec heads.
Yeah. I like that they start off a little surly, but they seem like they're friendly enough at this point.
Well, they do have some pretty draconian packaging rules.
Well, you have to be careful because there have been attacks on the Olmec head network.
I see.
Ever since the infamous Olmec shoe bombing, whatever era this is, I'm not even sure what the year is around here. Well,
So we're doing this, I guess.
here we are. I guess I told you a wrong thing earlier. Well,
So we've got a lot more Caverna del Pollo, ladies and gentlemen.
well, there was, Let me make a shuffling sound as if I'm checking my notes.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
I'm not editing this out, by the way. I'm absolutely not editing this out.
You don't edit anything out.
People need to know what happens.
Uh-huh.
This is a real LP with real consequences. I am an adult.
So
Man,
what
no
you're
one-
saying is
yes.
there's another layer of the cavern that we didn't know about.
I guess.
And by we, I mean me.
Yeah, and by extension me. I mean, it's not like I was hiding this for my own purposes, although I wish I was.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah.
Or skeleton punching.
Hey, what do you want to do now? Let's punch some more skeletons.
It's like I'm playing Skyrim again.
With your stupid alchemy and unarmed attack only run.
I was not that insane.
Ms. Bundefund did do a run of, I think it was Morrowind once, where you were just an alchemy specialist, and your veins were just bulging 100% of the time with insane potions that, I don't know, whatever, buffed your unarmed skill to 3,000 or something.
So I'm
So what do
fighting
you
some
think
sort of
about those
lightning
new
wizard.
skeletons? What do you think about that lightning?
He was actually not that tough, although
Yeah.
that one didn't have a shield, and the stuff with him were not particularly dangerous.
Fair enough. The main thing with this guy is if there are two of them, or if you're distracted by something far away,
Right.
they are just triple murder. So they've got a couple attacks that they do. Though the one is they fire that wall of electricity at you, and that can be dodged through. And the second is they get lightning wings, and they fly up in the air and just shoot lightning bolts at you or whatever. And both of them are pretty terrible. But if you get two of them flying up in the air, it's just trouble and a half.
Right. When anything's easy when it's by itself, pretty much.
Yeah. Except maybe the Jaguar Man sometimes. He can still be pernicious.
Yeah, he is difficult. Well, he's almost a mini-boss. Or
Yeah.
at least he seems so to me. Professional opinion. As a professional Let's Player.
Hold on, I need to note this down on their website. Feedback from professionals. Seems like a mini. Yeah, he's a toughie. His thing especially is that he's just very hard to stun, you know? Unless
Sure.
you do, that stupid hammer is just undodgeable. Yep, you're fighting the tip-top level of skeletons now, though. This is the cream of the crop.
Cream of skeleton crop.
Mhm. This is skeleton cream is what you're going up against here instead.
Mama Bundafun can see me now.
Yeah. Yeah, we can only hope not.
It's like she's alive and with us. Wait, she is. Never mind. Not pleased,
But it is like
but
that still, right? I guess everything that is a thing is also like it's that thing. So.
By definition,
Mhm.
things are like themselves in that they're identical to themselves.
Tautology, let's play, ladies and gentlemen.
Tune in next time when we cover, I don't know, where else can you
Ship
go?
thesis. Tune in next time when we cover, I don't know, postmodernism as relates to lightning wizard skeletons.
Lightning wizards are a dangerous breed.
No, next time, please. Not this time. Anything but lightning wizards this time. Well, not anything.
Well, I'm dead. Because I misread the aura as green when it was in fact blue.
That one is real tough. I don't know. Sometimes I hate that on these little bomby mans.
I thought it was too easy.
So now you see the true power of Caverna de Pollos.
Being third
Del
strongest.
Yeah. Oh, that 2 Jaguar room is just the worst.
Let's not dilute the significance with hyperbole now. Something else might be worse.
The 2 skeleton room is pretty bad, all things considered.
Thank you. There's one thing I can't stand is exaggeration in my luchador Let's Play of video games.
You don't like anything as much as you don't like exaggeration.
Wait.
It wasn't constructed well, but at this point, I don't think craftsmanship is really what we're looking for.
What are we looking for? Significance, I guess. Love.
Yeah. I don't know, what are any of us looking for? Why do we comment over a man punching skeletons? It's because deep down we all hate skeletons. Because skeletons are a part of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
4-armed ones with 4 swords.
Skeletons signify all of our greatest weaknesses, in that they are calcified.
Yes. Right. They are the... Just as a little pro tip, when LPs turn to stuttering amateur philosophy, it's time to put down the remote for a while, because you are tuning into greatness. I like to think that maybe somebody out there likes to fall asleep to this, just, you know.
Is it safe to walk under the lightning skeleton as he flies?
No, it is not.
I didn't think
no.
so. Okay.
Nope, it is safe to dodge under the flaming skeleton. But, yeah,
right.
That is a dangerous wall. See, what I hate is when he gets in the corner, and because it's, I don't know, it's hard to approach without either getting a face full of lightning blast or whatever.
Right, well, his buddy was in the alternate dimension, so I couldn't do anything about it.
Yep. He'll get you that way.
I'm not even paying attention this time. What? That was weird. I got stuck in a grapple on nothing animation.
Oh, weird. Yeah, see that. Grapples I've seen mess up the most, but it's usually the enemies that happens to. Like, sometimes you'll throw them and they'll just take a very long time getting to wherever they're getting to. Let's see. I think it's probably likely. Let's see. That the big lightning god people there in their skeleton monks may have been devotees of Zotl, the god associated with lightning and death. So it's actually a fairly, I don't know, adequate deity for the upper level enemies in the game.
What if they're not though?
Well,
you assumed that's what they were.
That's true.
No,
you know what you do when you assume.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. I think if I was...
You saved yourself a lot of effort.
If I was working among the practitioners of an old religion, and I came across a reanimated skeleton with lightning powers, and there was a god of both lightning and death in that pantheon, I may assume. Now, I have left out the important detail that everyone else is also a skeleton. That skeleton data is not very valuable. Not statistically significant. The p-value is terrible. I like little Superman. The Superman shuffle, I call it.
It's not very high damage, I noticed.
No, but it's relatively low risk, and isn't that what matters? Excellent job, by the way, in that thing back there dealing with Lightning Man early. That's really just what it takes. Prioritize your targets. And the world prioritizes with you, as the old saying goes.
I hate the old saying.
Well, this is a game about old sayings, so it's not. Man, the balloons are random, and I feel like they've been doing a relatively harsh job of giving you a whole bunch of the same kind, which is bad because you can't double jump and land, you know, both in the same thing.
I have no idea how to approach this.
You actually seem to be doing it about the way that I would, which is just...
Getting hit in the teeth over and over again.
Well, I was going to say keeping them off balance, but yeah, also getting... Remember, as we said earlier, any compliment or criticism that I give is about 5 seconds delayed at this point, it looks like.
Oh, so close. By which I mean there were like 4 rooms left.
Well, maybe 3 or 2, honestly. You know the room with the balloons? That was supposed to be another room of rest and refueling.
Wow, I don't know how. I have a lot of trouble with that room.
Well, if they give you balloons that have different colored shields, then it's a whole bunch easier because you can take a whole bunch out at once. And balloons give you a lot of health.
Let's see. That makes sense.
So, in your typical village that someone may have done a study of, there would be a number of healers, both curanderos and curanderas, men and women, of course, ritual specialists who intercede for people with the supernatural realm and carry out major religious rituals. There are parteras, the midwives, who use various techniques to treat women and provide over childbirth, and sobadores and sobadoras, who set bones and displaced organs back into place through massage. These are not discrete, of course, because specialists may practice more than one type of healing technique. Curanderos and parteras use medicinal plants, and the sobaderos apparently just massage. So that's the current state of things. Obviously, there's a big trend in herbal medicine dating back from Aztec times, with traditional plants and so forth. I don't know if the massage was from that time, but I attempt to do some of my rank amateur examinations to see if we can find out.
Can we not? Just maybe.
I would never even consider depriving our listeners.
I can't imagine how could you like find the origin of the massage, the origin of when people rubbed their hands on other people. Is that even like...
You know, I wasn't going to Google that, but now I'm Googling origin of massage.
Isn't that what you were talking about?
Oh, something like that. Who even knows?
I would hope you, but I know better than now.
No, this looks like a pretty legit site. holisticliving.co.uk. Actually, never mind. I'm going to massagetahoe.net. Alright, Tahoe, what do you got? Okay, here we go. No one really knows how massage originated or where it originated. As a studied therapy, however, it is said to have been born in China over 5,000 years ago. So, there we go. It's both true that no one knows where it came from and that it's 5,000 years old and from China. I will edit out just this one little bit that I'm saying here as a secret message. That if it's getting frustrating and you don't enjoy this, we'll just call it quits for tonight.
I don't intend to quit. I'm okay for now. I'm more worried about my hard drive space, honestly.
Oh yeah, right.
That's going to be the limit before anything else. How long have we recorded? I can't stop to look easily.
About 45 minutes.
All right, we'll give it another 2 or 3 attempts.
Sure. Alright, sounds good.
I'm having a lot of trouble paying attention to anything you're saying, though.
Man, the real strategy for you this time was to tune out everything I was saying. Because none of it is useful. Even if it was useful, nothing is useful when you're actually dodging a skeleton's 4 swords coming at you.
I would, yeah. Hopefully we'll just edit in the one victory attempt or something.
Yeah.
This would not be fun watching.
No.
This is exactly what I would be doing if I was playing on my own, though.
Oh yeah?
Yes, I would probably be doing this my first attempt.
Yeah. Just going for the all-the-way skeleton man. Take on the top challenge that we were talking about,
much,
or
yeah. All right.
That's the way you do it.
I'm handling this room awfully.
Are you still in the lightning room?
Yes.
Let me see. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do when I post this? I'm going to do one heavily edited one, and then I'm just going to put out the raw footage and see we'll see which one people want to see. Because I've got this pet theory going that people listen to these things, like I said, like when they're going to sleep or whatever. I know there's some LPs people do that for. And I'm sure that, like, the main story ones, those you could just watch unironically, because I really like the commentary on those. But these longer ones, when we're doing Combo Chicken or whatever,
Sure.
Well, who can say? Man, they keep giving you all the same shield when it comes to those balloons.
That's the first time that's happened.
Really? Because I keep seeing all the... I mean, this one was all red, but I keep seeing all blue, or at least mostly blue.
Yeah, I thought they were guaranteed to be the first two blue, but then the last time we had a whole bunch of variety.
Red, yeah. I don't know.
I do like this outfit though. I would play this in the normal game.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's probably my second favorite outfit after the Alahubre suit. The Alabrihe.
It's going to be difficult next episode when I go back to a non-special suit.
A build where you can't just... Of course, you've got, what, like 7 stamina slots by now, so...
Yeah, but I've been doing like 10, 12 consecutive super moves.
Well, that is true. I think, yeah, I don't know. They had... Remember when they did that speed runs of everything? And they had Guacamelee?
Yes.
I couldn't watch that thing for more than like 3 minutes, but did they use the Alahibre suit? I think they did, but I think it was only because it was like one nearer in the selection criteria than the skeleton was. So who knows if they
No, they used it because they had some combo that's like stamina efficient.
Oh yeah. Man, listening to that and watching them for the, I don't know, whatever, 5-10 minutes or so I was tuned in, made me realize that I'm just wholly unprepared for speedruns. That's not...
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that can do that. I mean, they were talking about, like, oh, I need to make sure and jump up to the top right corner exactly right now, because if that happens, then, like, it's more likely that the enemies that spawn are going to go over here, where I can make this excellent combo. This is the particular combo that I'm going to play, you know.
Right.
Bless you, Internet man.
Also, they would not be here at all. They would never even come within
the Caverna? No. Never.
100 miles of the Caverna del Pollo.
No. There are 2 kind of speed runs you can do. They have top times for just whatever, beating it, and they have top times for 100% completion. So you have to come here for those.
Do they actually do that for this game? I mean, I know people do that sort of thing in games.
No, the game tracks that.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, they have separate leaderboards for regular and 100% completion. I don't think, however, that 100% completion includes Hell.
I see.
Because that's a DLC.
It's DLC? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's the El Infierno pack. So technically, instead of Hell, it's called El Infierno. As you can maybe guess from the cognate nature of the word. It is actually Spanish for something, I forget.
Someone knows.
Certainly we have no way of checking facts.
That was the best run yet. I think we'll give it one more try before I need to break the video.
Sounds good. I hope you're not
Go to a different file.
doing the every 4 gig split.
Oh, heavens no.
Good.
Unless I did that by
Good.
accident.
That would be problematic. You are approaching, though, what it takes to beat. I think on the Jaguar skeletons, I could be wrong, but I think they have sort of a crude cartoon cat face on his little skull.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Here's a fact I didn't know, and something we also don't have to. There was a movie called Poltergeist back in the day, and apparently really creeped out a lot of the actors who were in it, because at one point they had some spectral skeletons that would appear in the pool where the people were swimming. And to save money, they just got real human skeletons and dumped them in the pool and made the actors swim around in it. Because of the labor associated with building plastic skeletons, made them more just buying some real spooky bones.
That's interesting. What
Probably
do those
what I
skeletons go for these days?
Is it illegal to own them now? I thought.
It's surely not illegal, depending on context.
Yeah.
Universities and such.
Right, but I don't know if you have to, you know.
Surely, I'm pretty sure you need a license to own. I don't know. Perhaps to display
Unlimited.
human remains.
Yes, I see. Skulls Unlimited International. The world's leading supplier of osteological specimens. This is good. Wow. You can buy a human skull carrying case for $99. Good.
It's not a very good deal.
No, but it's exactly skull-shaped, I guess.
Yes.
They have a whole section for one-of-a-kind items. That sounds ominous. Alright, let's see. Real human skull and skeleton. Skulls Unlimited offers an extensive selection of real and replica human skulls and skeletons. Real human skulls and skeletons are only obtained from legal and ethical sources. However, these specimens are becoming more difficult to find. There's a section on skull cleaning. Skull cleaning?
Yeah, you don't want your skull to get dirty. Or do you?
Ooh, you can get a camo dip. That would be for deer skeletons. No, we won't judge.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Here's the, oh, this is so great. We have a little ad at the bottom. It says, have a skull to sell? We're buying. And they have what looks like a Boy Scout or something with like a ball cap and a polo shirt and khaki shorts holding a human skull. Kid, where did you get that? Let's see, educational resources. I'm looking to see if they have anything about legality.
Oh, I've never beaten that room before. Time for another one.
Yes. You know what we should do now is some more punching. How are we feeling?
I'm surprised I managed to beat this room as I have so far.
Yeah. Well, you unlocked the secret to the lightning man's, which is like, for goodness sake, do not let more than one of them be active at a time.
And this is where it's all going down. Yep. That was quick.
Yeah.
How long have we been recording? We might really need to break the file now.
Sure, let's see. It's about 58 minutes at this point.
Alright, this will be our last attempt.
Alright.
So,
honestly, that last room there, just get a little distance between you and everybody when they start coming in, and then...
Yes, I got eager.
Yeah. That was it, though. And that last room is much easier, really, than the 3 lightning wizards.
Well, that's good, because I didn't even get touched by the 3 lightning wizards. Of course, from now on, I'm going to just get murdered there every single time.
Of course. No, as long as you're on them like glue as soon as they appear, they're really not bad. But if ever 2 of them appear, and for goodness sake, if all 3 of them are around at the same time, you know, you're just... At that point, you are a toast sandwich.
Yeah. What's made all the difference is when I stopped trying to only break shields and would just punch people with whatever. Shields be danged.
Mm-hmm. That is a very good idea. Keeping them off balance is extremely important.
That and I hate chupacabras. That's something else I
Oh, they are the worst. I think I complained about them the first time they showed up. And you were like, what's the deal? They're not even bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sir, they are bad.
They are literally chupacabras.
Yes. It is hard to find regulations about human skeletons.
It's kind of embarrassing that it's one of those questions you don't really want residing in your Google archives.
Right. Yeah, I'm being monitored by the NSA even now. Sorry, Mr. Agent. Okay, here we go. RealHumanSkull.com has the answers I need. Wow. Their motto is art carved into eternity. That sounds fairly ominous. It is perfectly...
I think by the time you're selling human skulls as a business, you aren't really concerned about whether what you're doing sounds ominous.
That's so. Man, that's something that, like... I feel like by the time you start selling human skulls as a business, you're either, like, partnered up for life, or you just aren't going to sort of mention what you do until... So what do you do? Oh, you know, I get bones and I clean the bones and I sell the bones to people that want bones. Just a lot of bones.
That sounds like my first job. Literally. My first job was, it wasn't actually a job, it was a hospital stockroom volunteer. And I would stock tubs of bone wax. I didn't know what bone wax was. I still don't know what bone wax is.
That's one of those things that I think we better not look up, because whatever it is...
I cannot think of a situation in which one would want to wax a bone. But darned if I didn't stock a lot of it, so whatever it was for, it was in demand.
I think that belongs to that rare category of things that I don't want to look up. There have been a few things over the years, listeners, that we've come across that I just haven't wanted any more information on. There was one time we were looking up a Humboldt squid, which is a horrible creature, and the description said it was so ferocious that it would even attack a Patagonian toothfish. For the life of me, I do not want to know what a Patagonian toothfish is, because whatever it is, it's not as great as what I think.
That's right.
Just, you know, you picture some awful, like, surly-looking piranha with just teeth on its teeth.
Right. It's all spines.
Yes. Perfectly legal to possess and sell human bones in the United States. One of the major sources of confusion on this issue is prior to 1987, the majority of human bones for sale here and in other countries were prepared in India. However, in '87, India actually stopped its exportation of human bones. Many U.S. news sources phrased it as a ban on the sale of human bones rather than a ban on exportation to one particular country, with no effect on U.S. laws.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well, now this just isn't fair. Once India stopped exporting bones, obviously China took over as the main supplier of human bones to the U.S. However, just prior to the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, China too stopped exporting human bones.
What's the deal, China?
I know. It's as if they didn't...
We still like your bones. We'll buy them. We'll buy your bones.
Yeah. People would totally buy those bones. I saw the bodies exhibit when that came around.
Yeah, I did too.
What they're doing.
I liked
that
it.
was pretty cool. I like that exhibit.
Ooh, I'm not doing well.
FAQ number 2, the second most asked question for RealHumanSkull.com is, can I will my skull to you so that you can engrave it?
Wow, that's almost exactly what I was going to ask. Except for the part about it being different in every imaginable way.
Right. The small inclusion of the word not. Can I please not will my skull to you?
Is it legal for me to will my skull anywhere else but you?
And, except in some awful parallel universe, I have some really good news for you. Let's see, yes, it is legal, but it requires you to make a few pre-mortem changes in your will. I imagine it would.
I thought you were going to say in your skull, which is just even more horrifying.
Will require a few pre-mortem additions. How familiar are you with tray panning? Let's see.
Alright, go away. Go away.
Usually, so they, other than that, it's simply a matter of having a funeral home on their end contact the funeral home I designate to arrange the transportation. Usually the entire person comes here, the parts to be cleaned or collected, and then J, the rest is cremated. I don't like typos on a site like this. Usually I let them pass, but if these are the people that are going to take this skull and engrave it, I guess.
Yeah, it's alright. Okay, last room again.
Yeah. Get it done, son. And you're in way better position than you were last time.
Except for the fact this guy's got a red shield on, which is significantly more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, the problem with those guys is you can't just zoom in out of... Oh, well.
Right. Ha ha!
Yes!
Best at skeletons!
Woohoo! Yes! Unbelievable! Oh, man.
I don't know.
I was going to comment more, but I actually didn't want to distract you for that last part there, but that was an excellent use of throws. So here's
here we are in
spook
Guacamelee.
Guacamelee refers to those reclining statues that you see out front. You'll notice that no map is available, so this is sort of other place. I like that they cut the music in here. That's really cool.
Gave me some special mask piece. I assume that all the extra hard challenges are related to that.
Actually, there are a variety of challenges to get these mask parts, and some of them are quite easy. This one is the second hardest, I would say.
Yeah, you were mentioning the Thule treetops.
Yes, those are bonkers, and those include one. And there are some other ones around that we will probably find as we walk around.
I am the best skeleton today.
That was a heck of a challenge, and on our very last, before we were going to have to call it quits and split the video, our very last run through, that was an epic run.
Indeed.
Ending in the small digits with blinking health. Very well done. Alright.
I like the skeleton suit a lot.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I hear that you have some excellent suit waiting.
Oh, we'll be using downloadable suits for the final area, but I don't know, maybe we'll stick with the skeleton. We'll stick with I think you said we need to buy the chicken suit.
I would heartily encourage you not to do the Thule tree in the skeleton suit.
Right.
If only because it's just not that kind of area.
Sure.
But
it's not a fighting area, it's a costume.
It's a platforming area, yeah.
Alright.
So thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We will catch you next time.
Hooray!
We continue the hunt for mask pieces.
Good night.
Alright, good night.